we all have a purpose. This life has a purpose. This life is shaped by desire. And if we don't acknowledge that desire, then we go on living in ignorance. And as a result, we just keep on doing the same kinds of things, struggling to find the resolution to the desire. So if you want true happiness, peace, and freedom, then you owe it to yourself to find out what the desire is that you need to fulfill and then to fulfill it. And you have not only the right, but I would say a divine mandate to do exactly that. So I've noticed something, which is that it seems like a lot of people are, they take a kind of sick, I don't know what to call it, a kind of, it's not real satisfaction, but kind of false satisfaction, a sick false satisfaction by sitting by watching the world burn and saying, I told you so. And if you notice any of that within yourself, and we've all got a tiny little bit of it, if not a hefty dose of that, then you owe it to yourself to call yourself out on it and to see that that's not helping you at all, and that you owe it to yourself to actually to get rid of that. And the reason that people have that is because of a fear of their authentic empowerment, because the truth is you are creating your experience. You're creating your experience always. Everything that you experience is your creation, and that includes every last little bit of it. So the bit where you say, I told you so, and you're just willing to sit by on the sidelines and watch the world burn, that is where you need to take responsibility for your own life, your own experience, your own dissatisfaction, your own unhappiness. And you need to realize that you alone have the ability to solve your problems. And as I've said, you have a divine mandate to do so because that's the purpose of your life. If you don't do so, you'll just keep going round and round and round until you figure that out. So why not do it now? Because haven't you had enough of the suffering? And you can just go ahead and say yes to that. You have had enough of the suffering. That's why you're here. So, so here's the deal. Here's how you can do that. First of all, you have to take the first step that I've already pointed out, which is just to acknowledge that you have unfulfilled desire. And you know that that's true because you hurt in certain ways. So here's a secret. It's an open secret. It's not a secret that is not already known by everybody, but most people are in denial about it, which is that you are here actually to experience peace, harmony, fulfillment, happiness, unconditional love. That's why you're here. A lot of people are confused about that, and they think that they're here to experience suffering, and that is absolutely not true. Suffering is ignorance. That's all that it is. It's just ignorance. Literally, that's what it is. Suffering means ignorance. It means that you are ignorant of who you are, your powers, and what all this is in your relationship to it. As a result, when you live in that ignorance, you feel victimized. You feel that there's power outside of you that is disempowering you, that is causing your hurts. And then you just sit around thinking, gee whiz, what could I do about it? I guess I can't do anything because it's all happening to me. So you have to recognize that that is not what your life is meant to be. Your life is meant to be a life of fulfillment, purpose, happiness, contentment, peace, love, harmony, joy, all of that. And somewhere somebody is going to, especially on YouTube, somebody's going to say, oh, that can't be true because of this, that, and the other reason. Everybody's got their reasons why they believe that's not true, but just tell the truth, actually. You've had enough of the suffering. And so you owe it to yourself to finally just start to make the change. And you can only make that change if you're willing to accept the responsibility. So you can argue for why you cannot. You can argue for why that's not the truth. You can argue for why there is no God. You can argue for all of these things. But so long as you do those things, nothing's going to change, at least not in a positive way. So when you want things to change, you have to take that responsibility. So just take that responsibility now. Just do that for yourself. Just choose within yourself. Take that step right now and say, I choose to take responsibility for my own experience, for my own life. I'm done worrying about anything else. I'm done worrying about anybody or anything outside of myself. I'm only going to take responsibility for my own experience. I owe it to myself and to everybody else to do exactly that. So I'm choosing that now, and make that a firm resolve within yourself so that you won't go back on it, so that you won't fall back into the old habits of disempowerment. Just choose now. I choose my life. I choose responsibility for my own experience, and I choose to live the life that I'm meant to live, which is a life of peace, happiness, fulfillment, and unconditional love. Now, your mind might say, well, how could I possibly do that? And you won't. Here's the thing, you won't do it unless you choose it. That's why the first step is you have to choose it. Well, first step, you have to realize that it's true and possible. And then the second step is you have to choose it. Because if you don't do that, then you will continue to fall for all of your own BS. Let's just tell the truth about it. Because it's so easy to do. I mean, it's just the habit. And so you're going to fall back into that same habit unless you make that firm resolve now. And then you have to, here's also key. You have to see yourself in your mind's eye. You have to see yourself actually following through on it. Because otherwise, the mental images that you hold in consciousness presently are for all your old habits. So you're going to say, well, that's nice, I'm making this firm resolve, but actually, secretly, I believe that tomorrow will be just like today and like every other day. I'll just fall back into the same old habits, doing the same old self-defeating things with the same old negativity, the same old bad habits of self-abuse. So yeah, now you owe it to yourself to banish all those negative limiting beliefs and images from your mind and instead replace them with healthy, positive images of empowerment, seeing yourself succeed with your new plan in your life, which is to be happy. So, boy, you're drinking from the fire hose today, I guess. So here's another thing, okay? Key phrase, now is new. Now is new. You want to be empowered, you have to accept that that is the truth. Now is new. Now is completely independent and free of anything and everything else, including the past. The past holds no sway here, cannot, will not, so long as you don't bring it in, okay? So you owe it to yourself to get rid of the past. You don't like it, get rid of it. Just dismiss it. Now notice what the mind does. It says, oh, but I can't. I can't. It has that power over me. Don't allow it. Just choose to tell the truth. Now is new. Now is completely new. It has nothing to do with the past. The past is just some made up nonsense. And if I bring it into the now and overlay it, then I'm just guaranteeing them I'm going to get more of the same of what I don't want. So you owe it to yourself to tell yourself the truth, which is now is new. Let's take a big step back. Okay. So the higher level truth is that you are consciousness dreaming all of this. So just see that that is true. You've been believing something different. You've been believing that you are only a product of the past. Just see that that's true. You've been believing that you are only a product of the past. So you're just a slave to the past. And that's why all of your hopes and dreams about changing that will never actually come to fruition, so long as you continue to backslide into that unhelpful belief about yourself. If you believe that you're just a product of the past, then how can you actually make the fundamental change? You cannot. So you have to actually accept and see the truth that you are independent of that. Your consciousness dreaming. So all of your experience is consciousness dreaming. Just the same as when you dream at night, that is consciousness dreaming. This is no different than that. Absolutely no different. So you are always consciousness dreaming. Now, in an instant, consciousness can change its dream. It happens all the time, all the time. See that that's true. In your nighttime dreams, isn't it true? Dreams seems to have some continuity, and then all of a sudden, bam, it totally changes. That can happen now. It is happening now. The only thing is that you keep bringing back in the same old nonsense. So choose not to do that to yourself anymore, because that is the ultimate form of self-abuse. Do not abuse yourself in that way. So please see the power of that now is new. Now is completely independent. You as consciousness are completely independent. It's totally up to you what you're going to entertain in consciousness. If you don't like something, please stop entertaining it. And you might say, but how can I not? See that you have that power. Now I understand. I completely understand the challenge of that because again, the mind says, but I can't. Look, I'm powerless. I'm I'm thinking all of the same old things. I can't stop. See this game that the mind plays? It just keeps doing this. It says, I'm powerless, I'm powerless, I'm powerless, I'm powerless, I'm powerless. Well, there you go. You're creating your experience because you just keep repeating that to yourself. So how about this? Just choose to affirm the truth. I am powerful. I am creating my experience. I am consciousness. I am dreaming. All of this is my dream. I choose what I want. I can choose anew. I can choose now. Now is new. I am empowered. I am the creator of my experience. Just tell yourself the truth. Just keep on telling yourself the truth. And every time the old thing is repeating this, is I'm powerless, I'm powerless, I'm powerless, just tell the truth about it. I'm not powerless. I'm creating my experience. I'm creating my experience by affirming that I'm powerless, and therefore I experience myself as powerless. How's that for proof? You see, everything that you tell yourself, uh, you're just narrating. You are the author of your experience. You're just the narrator. You're just telling yourself what is true, and then you believe it.